best time to start planting bulbs. Last spring we showed you some excellent flowering spring bulbs that you could enjoy in your landscape. With fall around the corner, start thinking about what and where you would like to plant your bulbs. When you go to your local garden center and look at all the different kinds of bulbs that they have, there's some certain things you want to look for. You should look for large, firm bulbs because they have more stored energy and help the bulb bloom better in the spring. You also want to look to see if there is any mushy spots or rotted spots on the bulb or any mold. If there is any of those things, don't buy the bulb and look for a better one. The beginning of September is a little early to start planting your bulbs, but it's a great time to start thinking about what and where you want to plant. Depending on the type of bulb, you can plant in late September, early October, or wait until after the first freeze of the year. A general rule of thumb is to wait until soil temperatures reach around 60 degrees. When deciding where to plant your bulbs, site selection is very important. You want to pick a site that gets full sun and is well drained. A site that gets 12 hours of sun is ideal, but is really hard to find. If you find a site that gets at least 6 hours of sun, most bulbs will do well there. You also want to make sure that the site is well drained because you don't want your bulb to sit in too much moisture and possibly start rotting. Now that you have your bulbs and your site picked out, you want to look at prepping your soil for planting. You want to amend the soil to help with root establishment, especially underneath of the bulbs. Dig about 4 inches below the bulbs where the planting depth should be to help with root establishment. With the removed soil, you want to amend the soil with some compost or peat moss to help with establishment and drainage. When planting your bulbs, you want to add 6 inches of the amended soil to the planting hole for the bulbs to sit on. That extra 2 inches of soil is a good idea because the soil will settle and then your bulbs will be at their correct planting depth. A recommended depth to plant your bulbs is 3 times the height of the bulb, and for spacing it's 3 times the width of the bulb. If you really want to create a knockout bed, think about planting your bulbs closer together or in masses. Try to avoid the little soldiers with your bulbs one after another in a straight line. If you create masses of bulbs, it'll really create an eye-catching display. When placing your bulbs in the planting hole, make sure to plant the bulbs pointed side up. Then cover the bulbs with the rest of the remaining soil and tamp the area lightly. You don't want to tamp it too hard because you could compact the planting hole too much and cause any damage to the bulb. After you have covered the bulbs up, make sure to water them in. Next spring, when your bulbs emerge and bloom, make sure to snip off the old blossom stems but leave the foliage. Plant later emerging perennials amongst your bulbs and it will make for a beautiful transition into the next season.